Hi and welcome. Today's topic is the power of the millimeters. Sorry about my voice. I have a bit of cold in my throat, so I'm a bit woozy. At the moment, they are gossiping about the millimeters. Let me do my intro again. So today is gonna be a good video. Great topic. We're going to break down why the millimeters is being blamed. So stay tuned and watch. Hi, and thank you guys. I really wanna use my voice to say thank you very much for each and every subscribe, like, and please keep on commenting. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, where we dive into all things reality TV, celebrity news, and podcasts. I'm so excited to share all the latest gossip and updates with you. Get ready to be entertained and stay in the loop with all your favorite stars. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fun content. Let's jump right in.
So, welcome everyone. We know the Melometers are a great supporter of Melody, and we know Melometers are all around the world. Women are not just saying they're millimeters because they want to be a millimeter. It's because there's something that connect them to Melody, something that happened in their own life, and they are a fan of Melody, and then you have people are greater than fan, and that's where the millimeters come in. You have fans who are Melody fans, where we support Melody and we respect her and we feel that she's a great person. And then you have people who have the same belief as a fan, but they are even more crazy about Melody. They love Melody and everything about them they do every day is about Melody. And that's where I believe a millimeter is. I do not believe a millimeter is someone that go around and pick on the other team, the other side, the castmate. No, I do not believe that. Someone is obviously putting that out. Okay, so let's break it down. Who is to blame?
One super red flag that your boss is no good, they gossip. Here's the problem. Some employees think it's super cool that the boss gossips with them and that they talk about other members of the team. It makes some employees feel important. What they're missing, and I hope this is not you, but if it's you, what you're missing is that the gossiper is also going to gossip about you. They are guaranteed. They're gonna use what you say to them about the other person against you, and they're gonna use it to continue the gossip chain. It's disgusting if you think about it. If the one gossiping is not willing to repeat what they're telling you in front of the other person, they're not being honest. And please, please, please do not be fooled. You're not in the in group with a boss who gossips, and you will never be.
Okay, that's just one. The reason why people are coming for the millimeters and they believe the millimeter is at blame is because the leader of Love and Marriage Unveil is not protecting everyone in the workplace. And for that reason, you have people on the outside that can attack each and everyone on that team, and the team is failing because of the leader. If you show me who your leader is, I know who you are. And the leader of Love and Married Unveiled is why the show is where it is. You know, Carlos, you love to say, I love Melody, I love Melody. No, you don't. You don't. You just say that because you don't want, you say, oh, the Melometer is going to put out video against you. You have people like Funky Diva. I don't really watch his channel, so I don't really know who he is. I just know that I always see him come up in certain topic whether it's to do with Love and Marriage Unveil or some drama with another YouTube blogger. So when they are saying, oh, Melometers are contacting Dr. Evanly job, why would the Melometer need to do that when Dr. Evanly have so much people against her? The amount of people that Dr. Evanly have attacked on her own platform, not just Sweet Tea, who she have violated so much and so badly that even Sweet Tea mom have to come for Melody. Come for you, I'm sorry. Come for Dr. Evelyn. It's not just one person. It's many people. She have done it to many people. So why would she want to blame a different network, a different TV that she don't work on? Like Dr. Evelyn, she moved from medicine and then she go over to Unveil. You don't live in Unveil. You don't know nothing about Unveil. You're not on their show, but you move in that direction, and then you bash each and every one of the cast, and then you say you love them at the same time. It could be Martel. It could be fans of Martel that could be phoning up Melody, Dr. Evelyn job. You don't have to be Melody fans. But because they want people to believe it's Melody fan that's doing it. And I'm just gonna continue to play a couple clips that let you know why these things are happening. I don't need to speak too much because these people is just gonna let you know exactly why the Melometers have power. But the main reason why they are being blamed is simple.
So it's your boss who's the gossiper. I'm Dr. Jessica Metcalf, and I'm a strategic leadership and workplace culture consultant. I look at ways that leadership can improve and that organizations can transform their future of work from the people perspective. Okay, so we had talked about stop gossiping behind your team members' backs. But then let's actually hit on the fact that when your boss is the gossiper. Yeah, that's not cool, like at all. Not only have I worked for those individuals, but I've then taught people how to shift away from that. Now you have to decide whether or not this individual will receive constructive criticism, even from other laterally appointed individuals. And if they aren't willing to step in to make those changes, then you have to make a decision. Because here's the thing, if the boss is gossiping about you or gossiping to you about someone else, that means that they are setting a specific tone of workplace culture. And is that a place that you actually want to be working? Now, I know a lot of people will be like, okay, but every job will have something, or there's a lot of shitty jobs out there. And you know what? Yes, but also no. I just interviewed someone for my podcast yesterday, and it'll be out either next week or the week after. And we talked all about this stuff. And here's the thing. Yes, in the corporate world, in the entrepreneurship world, there are going to be really unkind people. But there are also people who are really genuine and kind and want to make a difference. And this is what my guests had said. They had said that, yes, when you are in that leadership position, you want your team members to meet you 50% of the way, which means that you have to meet them 50% of the way as well. That's one piece of it. The other piece is that you need to be asking the hard questions in interviews. And a lot of people don't feel comfortable because they're worried on whether or not they're going to get that job, or if they're going to think of themselves as a failure if they don't get that job. But you really need to ask questions around workplace culture. Ask about what happens when someone does gossip. Ask about how you want to be treated and how other people communicate what they want and how to be treated. Talk about how they go about giving feedback and constructive criticism and what performance evaluations look like. And that when discussed feedback exists, how do you go about making changes? What is the support that you get? Because when the boss is the gossiper, do you really want to be working there? Is that an environment that you want to spend time in? I wouldn't want to, and nor should you.
Okay, I'm gonna keep playing a couple of those clips as I go in. So stay tuned. So, what is a Melometer? Who is a Melometer? If you're a fan of Melody Shari, you already know that her vibrant personality and unique style have made her a standout figure in the entertainment industry. From her expelling performance to her engaging social media presence. We know Melody, she talks to her fans a lot. She make us feel that we are important because, I when I first watched the show, I just see a reflection of myself in Melody, and I was like, okay, even though she acts stush and she very stylish and everything, I was like, could I be friend with someone like that? And straight away, I see a connection. I was like, yeah, I could be. I'm a good person, and I could see that she's a good person as well. She's going through a struggle, and I don't see anyone on her side at this moment because someone is hurting her, but they are more close to the one who's hurting her more than they are to her. And I feel a connection to her. And even when I reach her and I just say just a simple, message in her social media Instagram message box, she respond back to me. I was like, wow. I've done this. I've reached out to so many other stars or people on TV or doing entertainment, and they don't respond. They don't communicate back. But this lady read my message and she responded back to me. She made me feel like I could be close to her. It's like I don't know her personally, but I feel connect to her. And for that reason, I have more respect for her. I don't see her coming on social media bashing anyone. That's number one. So she engaged with her fans, and they follow her every move because she interact with us. So we interact back with her by supporting her. So the Melometers are people that support Melody. They are different type of people from different sex, could be man or woman, But the experience that Melody go through is why the Melometer was formed in the first place. You don't have to be a woman that is a divorcee. But if you been through life, you feel a connection. She's a single mother. We know she had a bad relationship with her husband, who was a narcissist, ex-husband now. And now she's a single mom of 4 children, working, doing her business. I don't know which different section would someone not feel connected to. I don't feel connected to Letitia because Letitia does not really share anything when it comes to her life. Even her business, she's not really that on top of it. I only like Letitia's husband because he seemed like he have good common sense. And that's why I like Marcel. I don't like his brother, Maurice, because he act very childish. He's very small-minded and childish. I don't like Martel because Martel is a narcissist. Who could like a narcissist? So let me add another one. Because I'm going to go in and out. I'm going to do a little bit of reading about Melometers that get up. And also I'm going to show these clips as well.
No. No, 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 no. I'm Dr. Jessica Metcalf. Let's talk all things leadership development and workplace culture. I can't trust this person's boss. If that person is talking to me about someone else on the team, I know that they're then going to talk about me to that someone else. That's not a safe space. I don't feel like I can trust people, which means that that affects my work. That affects how I show up. That affects how the team shows up. That affects how the team has each other's backs. And that goes to around how you feel safe in the workplace. Or are you constantly looking over your shoulder thinking that something's going to be used against you? And then you fear if you quit because then what's going to be said about you? And then there's this constant fear of judgment all the time. If you're that boss, don't do it. If you are that team member, you might want to say something. But if you don't feel comfortable saying something, then you have to make a choice at that point.
Okay. So the Melometers are formed on social media, especially on YouTube. So you have Beyonce, who have a very big fan base, extremely big fan base. We also have Nicki Minaj, is another female, have a huge fan base. And they go everything wild with Nicki. Like, I'm a fan of Nicki, but I wouldn't call myself, what does Nicki call herself again? Oh, God. Forgot the name of it. I'm a fan of Beyonce. I'm a fan of Beyonce, but I wouldn't say I'm a beehive. Beehive. Why? Because I do not go and post Beyonce every single day. But I'm a fan of Beyonce. I'm a fan of Beyonce. The Melometers do not have time to go out their way to post or talk or phone up anyone because they're so busy on Melody page talking about Melody, doing comment about Melody, doing content about Melody. They're watching Melody, whatever video Melody have up, they're busy watching it, and they have their own life on top of it. So why would you think they would go and mess with Letitia or Marcel, or would go on Dr. Heavenly business and make problem when they're so busy and so up to Melody? Like, they wouldn't have time for it. The Melometer, they provide a fan with real-time update on Melody latest project. You know, whenever she drop a new single or any project or event or any business a cosmetic line when she's on TikTok making a guest appearance or a talk show. The Melometers ensure you're the first to know. So basically, there are people that go and they spread information about Melody. And I think that's one of the main reasons why people hate the Melometers when it comes to Carlos and his cause. Because they don't have no one to promote for them. But Carlos is a narcissist, which people don't normally say. Carlos is a narcissist, just the same as Martel. That's the reason why him and Martel work so greatly close to each other. And they get along so perfectly because they're the same. Okay, play another clip before I come back to another reading.
And the leader is talking to the rest of the team about another team member and not having proper professional private conversations, and they're like feeding into whether it's gossip or like rumors or whatever, and there's this like talking behind the back. That's not a leader. Like, you might be the owner, you might be the boss, that's not a leader. There's no boundaries, and you're showing everyone that you can't be trusted, and also that you don't take action when there is a complaint or a concern, that you're gossiping with everyone else.
You have great Melometers platform on social media, and that's one of the reasons why they have so much problem and so much hate, because you have people who are dedicated to Melody. You have like ladies, great lady like Queen Sheba, who do content around Melody. She stand up for each and every one of the ladies. She stand up for each and every one who's part of the Melometers. She do content around Melody and the show. And not only that, she have a large platform. And that's one of the reasons, because Carlos does not have a raindrop with a big platform, huge number, pushing his show, talking about him. He tried to get that, but it's not successful as he would like it to be. So it's like, why does Melody, she's just Melody, why does she have content creator like Queen Sheba, chit chat with chit chat, which my daughter, she loves chit chat so much. She go and she sing chit chat, chit chat, chit chat. She loved the song chit chat so much. Oh God, maybe because I watch it too much. But she sing chit chat song all the time. You have Empress Radio. You have Here for Hot Tea. You have True Talk. And they're all Melometers. All of them. And you have Ebony. All of these ladies are Melometers. And they have huge number of followers and subscribers. And they push for Melody. You know, there's so many different channels. It's not just them, but they're one of the biggest. And then you look at Carlos and you wonder how many raindrop with big number on YouTube that support him. You could barely find a raindrop. Like, I don't know, I never come across a raindrop. No. Like Candice Beauty, I never find someone that truly support Stormy with a big, huge number. You never find someone with a huge number on YouTube that support Destiny. So why does Melody have that? Why does she have these ladies and male too? I watched another one name. I think he's a chef or something. I forgot his name. Why does these guys with huge number of subscribers on the YouTube and they are great supporter and fans of Melody? And those are one of the reasons why they're scared of Melody, because she have power, the power that Carlos, because he's the head of everything that's going on. Melody have the power that Carlos want. Like even when he go and pay Tasha K for allegedly for Martell, it's not the same. Like even if Martell go and give Tasha K how much money, Tasha K ain't gonna speak about him too much. She may talk about him with like maybe once or twice for a year, but that's it. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. While when it comes to Melody, she have someone pushing out her event, her products every day. It's a different video of Melody. There's different and whatever Melody do, I should say, whatever she do, the ladies are always on top of it, and they're always backing it and they're pushing it out. So she's always been up there. She have a community. She have a solid fan base, and these fan base are subscribers. These they are content creators, and that's one of the reasons why she have that strong power. And Carlos, he want that power. He have his raindrop, but his raindrop don't have a big platform on YouTube. They don't have a big platform on Facebook or Instagram. So there's no one pushing them as like they would like to. They would like to have. Letitia, she tried to have her mom to go on YouTube to help push her, but her mom could not generate enough fans or enough content creator to come on Letitia's side. So she had to back down because it wasn't working. She was just doing negative, and no one is not really coming to listen to her. Only when she tried to go viral by talking something really terrible about Melody. And then Melody fans who come over there and like find out what's going on. What are you talking about Melody about now this time? And that's when they will, go on her page. And that's when she'll have a large views of support. But really and truly, it's the Melometers is watching Wanda. They're the one watching them. They're the one watching Carlos. If Carlos does not speak about Melody, he doesn't get the views that he's looking for on his YouTube.
You want to know if your boss is a narcissist? Here are the top 5 classic signs I've seen from working with my own narcissist boss for about 18 months. First thing is they will never take responsibility for things that go bad, but they will always take responsibility for things that go well. The narcissist wants to feel good about themselves. They want to feel like the best person in the world. So to fuel their ego, they will scoop up all the praise and run away at the first sign of trouble. Number 2, they will build you up and they will tear you down. They will make you question what you thought was right. So when I was working with a narcissist, I saw a lot of things happen that compromised my own values. But somehow he always did these like voodoo mind trick manipulation shit. that made me feel wrong for what I thought was right and made me agree with him. A normal boss will not do this. They will accept your opinions. Even if they don't agree with them, they're not going to try and manipulate you just to serve their own interests. Number 3, after you've been around them a while, you're going to find yourself feeling very quiet and like you've got some low self-esteem going on. If every time you're around this person, you feel like a shell of your former self, and you wonder where your self-confidence has gone, are likely in the grips of a narcissist. Number 4, they're the loudest in the room, and they gotta be the center of attention. I think Tyler, the creator, said it best: if they're the loudest in the room, they're probably the loneliest one in the room. Number 5, they're always pointing out ways that you can do better, but they think that they are God's gift to man. This again goes to serve their ego, because they get to feel like they are some superior being, and it weakens your self-esteem, yet again tightening their grips on you. So if you're experiencing lots of these traits with a boss, a friend, or even a loved one, maybe it's time to question, is this person really the best person to be spending your time with?
When dealing with a narcissist boss,
Melometer is all about. Melometer is a community for women, because you have the Melometers who go out there and they give money. It doesn't matter who you are, as long as whether you're a content creator or a fan. I was on Queen Sheba when a fan called up and she was going through a tough time with her partner, and in no time the ladies send money, and males, and male too, not just women but males as well. They send money in no time. The woman, I don't even remember how much she made, but I know that she got a good amount of money, more than 1,000 she got that day, in just being on the show and just talking about her problem. She gets support, she get financial help. I see other content creators who are going through problem, and they tell the fans, they tell the subscribers, and in no time they get help. There are people sending finance help. It's not just about money. It's just the information they share as well, different of their life and advice. You know, you have people from different business. You know, you have legal advice as well. And people learn those things. I even learned those things. Many things I've learned just by listening to someone who's a Melometer, who made me even more want to support Melody, because he let me realize that this is a community that I want to be part of. where women come together and be friends who have never even met each other before. We are strangers, but we feel connect. And the reason why we feel connect to each other is because we support Melody. Because we see a woman that was in a relationship with a man, and the man, he chose himself over his wife and his children. Over his wife and his children, he has picked himself first. And she took herself away from that situation, and she get herself together, and she did her business on her own this time around, and she built herself back up. What is wrong with that? And she have these men and women, this community that help push her, keep her on her foot. And then you have these ladies on a show with Melody who don't show no support for her, don't care for her, and at the same time, they want her to go against her fans. They want her to turn on the Melometers in order to please them. The Melometer who are supporting Melody, who are keeping her on her feet when she's getting attacked from the mistress, attacked from the ex-husband, and attacked from her boss. You have the Melometers that is there supporting her, watching her back. And you have these ladies on the show that are putting her down, talking behind her back. I know which team I would pick. I would pick the Melometers any day. And now they do things, and when people call it out, they said, "Oh, it's the Melometers. Oh, it's the Melometers." You know what? I'm saying. What I'm gonna say to Melody is that she need to um trademark first the Melometers, put it as a trademark, put as a business, and then whenever Carlos King, Funky Diva, whoever he is, I don't know, I don't watch his show, I don't know who he is, I don't like him. He's been on YouTube for years. I've heard his story, but he's not my top. He's not my cup of tea. When people like that, Dr. Everly, who she don't want to mess with the Melometers, but at the same time, she's bashing Melody and she pretend like she's not, but she is, because she bashed everyone on her show. Only person she doesn't bash is Jackie, because she like Jackie. So she don't bash Jackie, but she bash everybody else. Dr. Evanly is a very messy person. She's very two-faced. She's very mean. She dish it out, but she cannot take it. She'll bash people and their fiance or their husband, and then when you give it back to her, she don't want to play nice. So Melody need to trademark the name. That's the first thing she need to do. I probably she already did it. And then after she trademark it, she need to do a court order where she when you say anything bad about the name without proof, she can sue them. So when Funky D, whatever the boy is name, whenever he come and he says something, there's a lawsuit against him. Because if you don't have proof that they're phoning up Dr. Evanly, don't say it's Melometer. It's because they're not trademarked and it's just out there. So anybody can just say whatever they want to say. Oh, we can say anything. But if you trademark it, they can't just say what they want. They have to be careful. I can't remember the name. What would you call when somebody lie on your name? which is what Cardi B sued Tasha K for lying her name. Once Melody trademarked it and turned it as a business, the name is now very important. And now no one can just throw the name around. They can't just say anything about it because in no time she can file a lawsuit against whoever bashed the name without proof. And that's how she will remove the cost from bashing the fan group and telling lies. So I would say that's the first thing that Melody need to do. First thing she need to do. Let's continue.
4 signs your boss is narcissistic. 1, they play favorites. So they only reward the people who are yes people. So the people that agree with them. And so this boss absolutely loves and rewards the people who drink the Kool-Aid, that adhere to the culture that the boss sets. And so basically it's saying, you agree with me in everything I believe and I say, and I will value you. And there are people maybe on the team that have a different opinion, a different idea, maybe a great idea, maybe constructive feedback, but yeah, no, they're immediately devalued. And it's clear, very clear, that the boss is not happy with them and they will not go anywhere in the company. Why? Because the boss is actually threatened by these people who actually have a creative thought. And the boss is so egotistical that they only want to listen to the people who agree with them. And so they play favorites and they reward people inappropriately based on their kind of bowing at the altar to the boss. 2, they absolutely control your destiny, and they kind of make it clear. So they treat you like you're the scab of society. Like you're lucky to be on this team. You have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of growth. You need to grow. However, you apply for a transfer and they're like, oh, no. Nope. So they won't let you go. They treat you like dirt, but they will not let you go. Why? Because they are actually threatened by you. They're threatened by you, and that's why they're not going to let you go. They're going to keep you under, right? They're going to prevent you from growing because they're so threatened by you. 3, they take credit for your work, and they sleep fine at night. So you tell them, oh gosh, I have this great idea about how to make things more efficient, and they'll be like, whatever. Yeah, okay. And then 2 weeks later, they're proposing your idea to leadership and taking all the credit for it. But yet saying, no, I totally revamped it. Did ya? And 4, they are nice and then they're mean. So one day they're like, yeah, bring the kids over for a barbecue. They bend boundaries. They're like, yeah, it's fine. Let's drink beers. Bend boundaries. And then the next day they're like, so cold and so weird. And you're like, I thought we were chums. And then they treat you like you are a terrible person. And it is an awful place to be in this mind space all the time, where you are completely unable to trust what is happening in reality. You trust you're in a professional, educated environment, and these things are happening and you're like, what is going on? So if you experience these things on a regular basis, your boss is a narcissist. So in the next TikTok, I will tell you how to deal with a narcissistic boss really appropriately in a way that will get you free and possibly even advanced.
Yeah. The reason why you have Tasha K continue to go after Melody, you have Shana, Funky Diva. You have Dr. Heavenly. You have the people them who's on the Love and Married Unveiled show. The reason why they're allowed to attack the Melometers. Remember, they need someone to help them to do that. The people who are working on the show, they need someone to go to and speak to, and they are speaking to someone. You have callers who would defend Latisha them and their business, and then you bash. Remember, the Melometers are Melody business as well. They are fans. They support her. They buy her business. So they are part of her business. Yet he does not support them. That means he doesn't support Melody. The people them that he have on his show are the people who keep bashing Melody. He have the ex-husband on the show who keep bashing Melody. And this to show you who this man is. We already know he's a puppet master. But is it a safe workplace? No. No, it's not. Let's continue.
The mental health effects of having a narcissistic boss. Hi, I'm Professor Ahmed Hankir. I'm a consultant psychiatrist and person living with a mental health condition. One of the worst things for our mental health is bullying and harassment in the workplace. I have lost count how many persons I have provided care to in the emergency department in a mental health crisis who report they are victims of bullying and harassment in the workplace. And the story usually goes something like this. They have a boss or a line manager who has narcissistic personality traits, this grandiose sense of self-importance and entitlement, and they are arrogant and they are constantly bullying and harassing their employees, and they are gaslighting their employees. They frame the fault with the victim and how they reacted and not with what they said and what they did. I can't emphasize enough the negative and adverse effects of bullying and harassment cannot be overstated. Now, it can feel as though we are deterred and discouraged from reporting the perpetrator because we live in a culture, in a world that protects the perpetrator and punishes the victim. That must change. We have to hold perpetrators of bullying and harassment accountable, and we have to provide more specialist support to victims, and we must be encouraged to blow the whistle and report perpetrators of bullying and harassment. We also must change the culture, the toxic culture in the workplace, and replace microaggressions with micro affirmations. Simple things like good morning with a smile on your face or good job can have a tremendous positive effect on our mental health and well-being. Okay, I hope that helps. And as always, protect your minds and protect your hearts. And bye for now.
Do you know how to tell if your boss is a malignant narcissist? If not, I'm going to give you 4 signs. And if your boss is displaying any of these signs, he or she may just be a malignant narcissist. The first sign is they have an inflated sense of self-worth and a total disregard for others. They believe they deserve special treatment, admiration, and recognition for their perceived set of skills, and they're just great. They feel entitled. The second sign is they are manipulative and they display passive-aggressive behaviors. How does the passive aggressiveness show up in the workplace? Well, sometimes they will make vile jokes and then follow up with, "Oh, I'm just kidding." No, they're not. They're serious as hell. Another example is speaking to their subordinates in a childlike manner. And lastly, they're very critical of ideas that are not their own. something's always wrong. The third sign is they steal and take credit for others' efforts and hard work. For some strange reason, they don't mention that it's a group effort or it was collaborative or Jane Doe gave me this idea. It's always their idea. They came up with it because they are just exceptional. Fourth sign is they take advantage and exploit their subordinates. They abuse power and think nothing of it. They think it's okay. Exploiting their subordinates is a means to an end. They'll do anything they need to do to get what they want. And there's nothing that will happen to them, so they think, because they feel like they're so well connected that everybody else has their back and nobody will believe the employee or the subordinate. In honorable mention, they are hypersensitive to constructive criticism. It hurts them. It damages their fragile ego. They become very defensive and they will verbally attack, and you become a target. You cannot give this type of boss any type of feedback except feedback that's telling them that they're great. And we all know that does not work in the workplace. If you have this type of boss, you really need to be careful and learn how to navigate and steer clear, because they can become very dangerous and they can wreck your career. Do you know how to tell if your boss is a malignant narcissist? If not, I'm going to give you 4 signs. And if your boss is displaying any of these signs, he or she may just be a malignant narcissist. The first sign is they have an inflated sense of self-worth and a total disregard for others. They believe they deserve special treatment, admiration, and recognition for their perceived set of skills, and they're just great. They feel entitled. The second sign is they are manipulative and they display passive-aggressive behaviors. How does the passive aggressiveness show up in the workplace? Well, sometimes they will make vile jokes and then follow up with, "Oh, I'm just kidding." No, they're not. They're serious as hell. Another example is speaking to their subordinates in a childlike manner. And lastly, they're very critical of ideas that are not their own. Something's always wrong. The third sign is they steal and take credit for others' efforts and hard work. For some strange reason, they don't mention that it's a group effort or it was collaborative or Jane Doe gave me this idea. It's always their idea. They came up with it because they are just exceptional. Fourth sign is they take advantage and exploit their subordinates. They abuse power and think nothing of it. They think it's okay. Exploiting their subordinates is a means to an end. They'll do anything they need to do to get what they want. And there's nothing that will happen to them, so they think, because they feel like they're so well connected that everybody else has their back and nobody will believe the employee or the subordinate. In honorable mention, they are hypersensitive to constructive criticism. It hurts them. It damages their fragile ego. They become very defensive and they will verbally attack, and you become a target. You cannot give this type of boss any type of feedback except feedback that's telling them that they're great. And we all know that does not work in the workplace. If you have this type of boss, you really need to be careful and learn how to navigate and steer clear, because they can become very dangerous and they can wreck your career. Do you know how to tell if your boss is a malignant narcissist? If not, I'm going to give you 4 signs. And if your boss is displaying any of these signs, he or she may just be a malignant narcissist. The first sign is they have an inflated sense of self-worth and a total disregard for others. They believe they deserve special treatment, admiration, and recognition for their perceived set of skills, and they're just great. They feel entitled. The second sign is they are manipulative and they display passive-aggressive behaviors. How does the passive aggressiveness show up in the workplace? Well, sometimes they will make vile jokes and then follow up with, "Oh, I'm just kidding." No, they're not. They're serious as hell. Another example is speaking to their subordinates in a childlike manner. And lastly, they're very critical of ideas that are not their own. Something's always wrong. The third sign is they steal and take credit for others' efforts and hard work. For some strange reason, they don't mention that it's a group effort or it was collaborative or Jane Doe gave me this idea. It's always their idea. They came up with it because they are just exceptional. Fourth sign is they take advantage and exploit their subordinates. They abuse power and think nothing of it. They think it's okay. Exploiting their subordinates is a means to an end. They'll do anything they need to do to get what they want. And there's nothing that will happen to them, so they think, because they feel like they're so well connected that everybody else has their back and nobody will believe the employee or the subordinate. In honorable mention, they are hypersensitive to constructive criticism. It hurts them. It damages their fragile ego. They become very defensive and they will verbally attack, and you become a target. You cannot give this type of boss any type of feedback except feedback that's telling them that they're great. And we all know that does not work in the workplace. If you have this type of boss, you really need to be careful and learn how to navigate and steer clear, because they can become very dangerous and they can wreck your career.
When people need to have insurance.
Yes. So, with all that say, I would like everyone to comment down below and tell me what you believe. Who you blame for the backlash of millimeters? I tell you what a millimeter stands for. Who is a millimeter? Why millimeter is there? And why millimeter was created in the first place? And who want to destroy the community of millimeters? Call this king. He used his own mouth and said it. The fans go to call us. The teacher, each and every one of them go to call us. He's the one pushing it. Whether you are a millimeter or just a fan of Melody, what when you watch those millimeters videos and content, how do you feel? You know, there's a lady that came on Queen Sheba YouTube channel, and she tried to use all different type of excuse from Black Titanic. Black Titanic, she's a fan of the show. She's a fan of the show, and she's a fan of Melody. But it was not Melody who told Black Titanic to go to the warehouse. Remember, the reason why she went in the first place was because she did not believe that Stormy had a warehouse because so many customers were complaining that they were not receiving their products that they bought from Stormy, Canvas Beauty, and they were complaining. So she wanted to investigate as a content creator. Let me go and see if this lady have a warehouse, and if she do have a warehouse, why does her customer not receiving their product? And that's why she went there to find out in the first place. So it was not because of Melody who sent her there, but because of her content that she was making on YouTube was the main reason why she went there in the first place. We have Anthony. I don't watch him neither, but I did watch when Melody spoke about him. And Melody said he was someone of a fan of her who became very obsessed with everything about her. He became so obsessed that he basically wanted to put himself directly inside of her life, her everyday life. That means he wanted to make sure he come over to Melody house. He wanted to interact with everything she do. And for that, when Melody realized that he was going too far, she came out and she spoke about it. She did not send him to Destiny house. She didn't ask him to go to Destiny house. She didn't want anything from Destiny in the first place. So why would she send Anthony over to Destiny house when she did not need anything from Destiny? Does that make sense? Someone calling up Dr. Everly. And remember, I'm talking not just as a fan, but with common sense. Why would someone with a Melometer call Dr. Heavily place of work? For what reason? Melody does not live in Atlanta. Now does she do her teeth with Dr. Heavily? Maybe those are customers. Maybe there are some customer that was not satisfied with Dr. Everly work, and they wanted to call up to find out how they could make a complaint or get some refund back. Did when they phone up Dr. Everly workplace, did they say, "Oh, I am Melometer and I'm calling you because I don't like how you speak about Melody"? Because that would be proof. But who could be so sensible to just say, "Oh, I'm just calling because I'm a Melometer"? And I say sensible for a reason. Because we all know the opposite of that. Because if you have sense, you would see the different. You have Black, which is I think it's a restaurant and pub. Okay, in America say bar. Yeah, it's a bar and a restaurant in Unville. Why would a Melometer decide to phone up the council and make a complaint? And then the council is gonna say, "Wow, a Melometer call we up and say you guys do these business is not good, so we're gonna lock you down." Does that make sense? Because then they could now sue the council. They could sue the business council and said you lock us down because a Melometer phone us. And they would definitely won and make a lot of money. But they cannot do that because obviously it was not a Melometer that caused the business to close down. Because if it was, then the person that would have to sue would be the council, because the council is the one who locked the business down. So the council would have to be the person reliable for anything that happened to the business. Because they would have to come out and check first before they lock down the business. They would have to come and check the paperwork and all those stuff. And so are you telling me that Letitia and Marcel have a Melometer work in their office that know all their paperwork and know that their paperwork were not up to date to tell the council? Wow. Why, if they don't like Melometers, why would you have a Melometer working in your office to see all of your paperwork and know that the paperwork were not fully up to date? And know that you're making too much noise. So you tell me Melometers is your neighbor that complain about all the noise that you're making at nighttime? Wow. That a lot of Melometers to be complaining in your own neighbor. Wow. Each time you look at these people, complain, and complain, it made no sense. It sounds so stupid, so idiotic, that you wonder who could listen to these people speaking and take it as advice. People need to learn to do their research. Don't just take advice on YouTube and run with it. Not because they said it was the Melometers meant Dr. Everly refused to return back to Messy Monday. She's a messy person. She need to go and sit and do her dentist job and stay on her own platform. She need to continue to speak about her own TV show that she have over there on Bravo. She don't have no place in Ontville. If she wanna do content around it, then do content around it. But then you need to sit down and also accept it that not everybody gonna agree with what you say. Doesn't mean it's a group of people from the same direction causing that problem. And if you say the Melometers are so powerful, causing so much mess in your life, why do you still call their name? Why still speak about them? Because Funky Diva, um, if he believe Dan Diva, I think he named Dan Diva, if he believe that the Melometers is at fault for Dr. Everly, why is he calling their name? Aren't he afraid that they're gonna make content about him and call up and find out his phone number or his details and now come at him? No, he's not scared because he know in deep down with common sense that the Melometer cannot stop Dr. Everly from coming on YouTube and talk whatever she talk. She do that because she want to, and he do that because he need to. Because every time when they have their viewership going down, they remember that there's a strong team, a strong community of people that is on YouTube. The raindrop ain't dropping too much views on many of these people platform. So without the magic word, you don't get the views from the Melometers. because wherever you call Melody name, they always check. Doesn't mean they're gonna come to attack. So the backlash against the Melometer seems to stem from a combination of miscommunication, unmet unexpectation, and the complex of dynamic of entertainment personalities, which we all know who they are. The unrealistic. When the Millimeters was introduced, it promised a range of exclusive content. So this is a community of people, and they're not just a fan of Melody. They also have, because many people have YouTube as their career. So they are a content creators, which is they have as a fun or as a business. They get funding from it. They get earning from it. So it's not just about Melody. Yes, it's a huge part of what they do and what they talk about. But they talk about different range of topic, and they promise to give each and every person that subscribe to them content of different topics, different things that's going around. It's not just about Melody all the time, but they just seem to believe, oh, it's always about Melody. So that's the reason why they feel like they need to attack. You have people like Martel. How, with all those bashing, remember, Dr. Everly, she talked bad about Martel. Why don't she believe that it's Martel fans is phoning up her and causing a disturbance? No, they don't believe that. Why Carlos don't believe that Martel is saying his show is not real? That's not the issue. Martel let we know the show is fake. Melody said the show is real. But Carlos, Martel said the show is fake. But yet you seem to be so close to him. Carlos is having a competition with Melody. And he seemed to have, because we know Funky were very deep and very close with Carlos. So is Dr. Ebony. And it seemed each and everyone that is linked to Carlos have something to say negative about the Millimeters and Melody. So Carlos is causing a very unhealthy work environment. Very unhealthy workplace. And I hope you understand, without the Millimeters, the show will not continue. That show is gonna go down faster than he could even think of. I know that at this moment they want to get rid of Melody. Just like when the fan asks him, "Oh, Carlos, you and Melody are not getting on." "Oh, yes, we are getting on." "Oh, you believe Melody is a star?" "Yes, I already said Melody is a star." Do you really believe she's a star? Because if you really believe she's a star, then you will do everything in your power to make sure you protect her. How can you against the star after show? She's a star after show, yet no protection for her. Because Carlos wanted to be the center of the show. He wanted to be the show. The show meant to be the name, and it should be Carlos and the show name. It shouldn't be the show and Melody. Because when you hear after show, you hear of Melody. You hear after show, you hear of Melody. And the thing is, why he support Martel is because when you hear after show, you either hear of Melody or Martel. It easily and very quickly can remove Martel off the show and remove his presence off the show. But when it comes to Melody, it's very difficult because she have a large fan base. So it's helping Martel, in my opinion, in order to push Melody off the show and push her popularity down. By doing that, it now will push Martel up. But then once Martel is pushed up, then he's now gonna remove Martel off the show. He's now gonna remove Martel off the show. And now it's gonna be Carlos. Because remember when Carlos was on the real housewife of Atlanta, it was always Carlos and the real housewife of Atlanta. And that's how his name was getting really popular because he was getting very very close to all of the star on the show, and he was trying to dine with them to be up in front with the stars in order not just to be behind the scene, but he also wanted to be in front of the scene. Carlos want to be shown, and that's the reason why he made a YouTube platform. That's the reason why he came on YouTube, because he want to be seen. He's not gonna create a show and be on the show. He could, but he doesn't want to do it that way because at the same time he doesn't want to share his full life. But he want to be up there. He want to be big or bigger than Andy from Bravo. He want to be bigger than Andy. He want to be well known more than Andy. Like everybody know Andy, and they um they know his show. They know Andy is the reason why Housewife is around. So Carlos want to be known, the one for Unveil, the one for all these shows, but instead everyone is saying, "Oh, Melody created the show." Yes, to him, yes, she came to me about the show. That's true. But at the same time, I make it happen. So my name should be there. My name should be on everyone's lip. Everyone should be talking about me. Why are they talking about Melody? Yes, she came to me and told me about the show, but I am the one who make it happen. So I should be the one everyone talk about. I should be the hit one, the head one. I should be that. I should be that boy. I should have all these fans behind me. Because he have a fan. He call him Raindrop. Why would a producer want fans if he didn't want to be seen? You create a fan base because you want to be seen. And Carlos is a narcissist, the same as Martel. The only difference is that he used his narcissist behavior in a more kind of way, kind and loving form of way, where you believe he love you, he care for you, but it really and truly doesn't have no feeling, no caring. It just it's just using you. Which I played all those videos that show you the different type of boss, why they gossip, because he's basically gossiping about the star of the show. Melody is the edge star of the show, and he's gossiping about her with Dr. Evelyn. And he's laughing, he's entertained, talking negative about this is his star, the person that he have on his show. The reason why I do that is because he didn't expect her to be that far. He did not. He was not looking for that. And that's the reason why he used the people them who don't have much spotlight and praise Carlos so much, depend on Carlos. He loved them. And he talk about he want to support them because they praise him. But on YouTube, there's a lot of people, a lot of content creator with big numbers, and they don't bow down to Carlos. They look straight at him, and it's because they only answer to Melody, and himself obviously, and he doesn't like that. No. Yeah, so that's all for me today. The power of the Melometer. Well, I meant to put the millimeters. The power of millimeters. And I blame you. I blame Carlos. Carlos King. That's who I blame. He's the reason why the show is going down. He is the reason why. Because he did not stand up and do the right thing. The right thing he should have done was to remove Martel off the show, and then try to make the stars of the show work together. You know, no one backstabbing each other. Even though, even if it happened, you know, he doesn't stand with that. Don't stand with it. But you can't backstab the biggest star of the show and then you say, "Oh, she's the star of the show," and me and her is good. When you just stood there on your platform on YouTube, laughing about her pain. Man, if that was me, I would be so pissed. Like, I'll quit that job immediately. Like, you sit down and you laugh at my pain. My pain. Dr. Everly, it's time for her to stop being a bully and to just add it. She's gonna talk about her show, but talk about it in a good light. Don't bully people. No. Okay, that is it for me today. I'll come back again later on. I'm coming back to do another video. I have my video lineup, which is the one related to Martell. I'm trying to get as much information about Martell as I can. Why black man, create broken home, broken family. And I put Martell. He's one of the stardom that do it. So I put him as my background. Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. Please like the video. It's very important for the like because it helps the video to grow. So please keep on liking and subscribing.